Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's OTT.x webinar. I'm Holly Choi, and I'm glad you could join us. At OTT.x, we are all about connecting, learning, and solving, creating space for our community to explore what's happening in streaming and what's coming next. Today's session is a great example of that. We're excited to welcome Federico Eberhard, an account manager, and Juan Ignacio Valenzuela, commercial analysts, both from Fabric. Together, they'll be walking us through hoops and hits, unveiling streaming trends in the US, a look at what audiences are watching, how trends are shifting across platforms, and what that means for content strategies, particularly when it comes to sports and music. Whether you're programming content, evaluating partnerships, or just trying to stay ahead of consumer behavior, there's something in today's insights for you. So let's get started. Federico and Juan, over to you.
Yeah, awesome. Well, what's good, everyone? Welcome to a new edition of the OTT.x webinar. We are delighted to be here with you all for screens. And a huge thanks also for the OTT.x crew for inviting us to share some awesome and game-changing insights about the US streaming market. So, picture this. We are courtside and the crowd's electric, and we are about to dive into the ultimate streaming showdown. I mean, it's like an NBA championship run, but for entertainment. So today we are taking you through the preseason trends, where the trends get set, the regular season, where the big players shine, and the playoffs as well, where we crown the MVPs. So are you ready to jump into this game?
Well, hello everyone. First of all, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for the invitation. I am Federico Eberhard, account manager at BB Media. Well, now it's Fabric Data. I have been in the industry since 2022 and counting. So yes, I am truly happy and grateful to be here today. So thank you all for joining this session.
Yes, and hello everyone. I'm Juan Ignacio. I work at B Media's Fabric as a commercial analyst. Diving deep into the streaming game industry, like for almost 2 years. And let me tell you that this industry moves faster than overtime in the NBA. So yeah, that's a really good thing. So let's talk about the team behind the game. At Fabric, we are all about powering the entertainment industry with the world's best data and operation solutions. We help connect people to the content they love, bringing clarity to this media supply chain, and delivering the rock solid data that drives smart decisions. With 4 awesome services in our playbook: Studio, SciTech, Origin, and BB Media, we are transforming the industry game like never before. But today, we're going to deep dive into BB Media, serving up fresh insights for the US market. So, all right, team, let's get warmed up for the preseason. Well, imagine that the preseason is about to kick off. Every streaming platform, like an NBA squad, is in the locker room studying the playbook and planning their big moves. And with BB Media's data, we are diving into the strategies and trends shaping the US market for 2025. So let's fire up the streaming game and see how those who are ready to ball. So first, let's explore what drives streaming in the US market. Based on data from Online Media Essentials, we call it OME, ABB Media Service. This survey covers 2,000 households in key global markets, tracking consumption, habits, preferences, and platform demand. So why do US consumers choose online content? The top reason is flexibility. They can watch on their schedule, whether morning or evening. They also seek specific titles like popular series or niche the movies or documentaries, non-scripted, scripted contents as well, and prioritized content they are eager to see. So compared to linear TV's fixed schedule, streaming gives them full control over where, when, and where to watch. On the other hand, why do some avoid streaming? Many feel traditional TV meets their needs, relying on familiar channels, and others simply prefer not to engage with online platforms. A key trend that we keep track of shows that more services are introducing ad-supported plans, which often leads to higher costs for ad-free premium tiers. This price increase is a significant factor for those opting out. Even among those who choose cheaper ad supporting plans, they also complain about the volume of ads that the online content has. So these dynamics are shaping the streaming landscape. And let's see now how they influence the season ahead.
All right, people, let's do something. Let's imagine a world where our TVs and phones as well are like a cozy fireplace. So, pulling us with exciting stories, let's say, that we can watch whenever we want. So, here's the fact. In the US, 80%, 85% of people have watched something online in the last 3 months. So, that's a lot. So this shows us how much we love streaming shows and movies as well. And we don't just watch a little, we really watch a lot. And here you can see that, for example, on weekdays, 1 in 3 people watches at least 2 episodes. Doesn't matter the day, just weekdays. But on weekends, we go even further than this. So you can see that over a third of us watch 4 or more episodes indeed. So turning on like our free days, and on Saturdays or on Sundays, we convert that days into big TV marathons. So it's not about just watching. It's like a new way of living, let's say. So where we decide how much to watch. But still, a small 4% of people don't join in, reminding us that we all have like our own way of, let's say, enjoying time. So this is how America streams, full of energy, always ready for more, and so exciting, people.
Yes, so thank you, Fede. We have covered how people watched, but now we are diving into what's on the court in the US in terms of offer and demand. What are the top genres like the streaming services are pushing? Well, having analyzed and monitored more than 400,000 contents, Big Media's data shows that dramas lead the pack with documentaries right behind. I mean, this seems like non-scripted contents are still in the catalogs, and comedies in the mix as well, and thriller and sci-fi are way lower. But here's the twist. Are these genres people are actually watching? I mean, not at all. According to Online Media Essentials, comedy is the crowd favorite. I mean, people just want a good laugh in any way. Drama and action are hot too, with adventure and crime rounding out the top 5. So platforms are loading up on drama, but fans, are just only craving laughs.
Well, thank you for that pass, Juani. Much appreciated. So until now, we just saw, the general picture of the US consumption. But let's do something here. Why don't we dive into a new game in streaming, the SVOD world, or subscription video on demand, as you all know. So where subscription unlock endless fun. So, basically it's like a basketball playbook with platforms fighting to win us over. In the US, the SVOD is like a big arena. Let's imagine this in terms of basketball, drawing fans with shows made just for them. But this is a tough match because new players join every year battling for our attention. So, yes, this is where the streaming gets exciting and we are ready to explore it now. Great. So, first, in the US, as you can see, 79% of people have at least one subscription to a streaming platform. So, it's become like a must have for all of us. And on average, each person also has 5 subscription streaming services out of 8 day accesses, showing how much we love variety, for example. But here is the real story. We are spending 19 hours a week watching this content, almost, like a part-time job, let's say. So when we break it down, subscriptions lead the game, taking, as you can see, 19 hours of our time, while free platforms with ads get around 10 hours. So what about traditional TV and the other options? So they are falling behind with just a few hours each. So this tells us something big, that people are choosing to pay for what they love. So continuing with this presentation, we have already seen the preseason. So now that the preseason is over, is where the real excitement begins. So it's time here for the regular season, and I know that this is nice to see. So this is the regular season of streaming, where the game truly hits up. So let's do something. Just people imagine a packed stadium with cheers filling in the air, just like this iconic moment with a basketball legend. So in the US, the SVOD world is our arena, and the teams, let's say the streaming platforms, are taking the court. So each team has its own playbook, battling to capture our attention with fresh shows, fresh movies, live moments, etc. So in this particular season, we will explore their strategies, see which team leads the league, for example, and uncover what sets them apart. So, it's more than just watching here, it's a fierce rivalry, and we all of us, are the fans choosing the champions. So get ready, because the streaming game is on, and these teams are ready to play. Great. So now let's view some stats about the online content viewership. And now that we are all in this arena, let's see some stats of those teams. So, for example, Netflix is leading the league, as you can see, with the 16% of the fans in the US. But when we are talking about the fans, we talk about net users, all right? While Prime Video follows with 14% and Hulu scores a 10%. Disney Plus and Paramount Plus are close behind, each with about 8%, showing how tight this game is. Then, as you can see, it's followed by Peacock with 7%, then Max, then Apple TV, and there you will find the remaining platforms over there. But here's the twist. Not all teams, not all streaming platforms keep their fans cheering, for example, every day. So as you can see here, Netflix and Hulu have the most loyal fans, with 35% and 24% watching daily. While, as you can see, Max struggles with 47% of its fans only tuning in the platforms once a week. So, what analysis can we do based on this information? That having a big fan base is great. I know, I totally agree with this one, but keeping them engaged is the real challenge here. So as the season goes on, the teams, the streaming platforms, need to bring fresh plays. So let's say new movies, new series, for example, to keep their fans coming back for more. So in this streaming league, it's all about staying in the game.
Awesome. Yeah, so which platforms now are leading the game in terms of household reach? Well, in this case, we see that Netflix dominates the game dominates the court with over 74 million active users. Then we have Amazon Prime Video holds second with nearly 60 million, followed by Hulu at 47 million. I mean, these three together accounts for 181 million users. I mean, that's really a lot packed in only 3 streaming services. So then we have, for example, Disney Plus and Paramount Plus. That's round out the top 10, the top 5. Well, each contributing to the competitive field that is the US market. But there is a notable metric to highlight here. It's that Netflix user base is 2.2 times larger than Paramount Plus, which ranks 5th. Well, this gap is really close compared to other regions. To get an idea, for you to get an idea, in the UK and Germany, Netflix outpaces 5th place competitors by 5 times. And in the Netherlands, for example, the difference is to 6 times. So this is like definitely showing a dynamic US market where diverse platforms create a tightly contested playing field, well, challenging leaders as well to stay sharp. But we had another key insight to showcase, that is that Paramount reports only 15% of its users sharing accounts, the lowest from these top 5. So, well, this strengthens its per household value. Well, for platforms, investing in exclusive must-have content is critical to compete with Netflix dominance. Well, Paramount Plus, in this case, low account sharing, suggests like a model worth studying for subscriber retention.
Right. Well, thank you, Juani. To continue with this beautiful presentation, let's talk about this case, how much time streaming teams are really winning in this regular season. So in the US, Netflix, as you can see, is dominating the curve, grabbing 6.5 hours on average of our weekly viewing time. While Crunchyroll, this is important to note, takes around 4.38 hours, and Prime Video and Hulu each take 4.2 hours. So as you can see, Max is close behind with 4 and 14 hours. But here is the exciting part, because Crunchyroll might have a smaller fan base with just the 1.76% of the market share, but its fans are really, really super loyal, giving it the second most viewing hours. So this is insane. So what analysis can we do based on this? That this shows that even smaller teams, like Crunchyroll in this case, can make a big impact if they connect deeply with their audiences. All right. Meanwhile, Netflix isn't just leading in hours, it's also the biggest team, with 68% of Americans cheering for it, alongside Prime Video at 64% and Hulu at 42%. So in this game, it's clear. The teams that keep, for example, fans hooked with great content like Netflix and Crunchyroll are the ones scoring the most points, not only in our hearts, but also in our schedules. So let's move now with the platforms with more original titles launched in 2024.
Yeah, awesome. So, well, which teams in this case, which streaming platforms brought the most new titles to the court? Well, in 5th place, we have Disney Plus, launching 67 original titles, including hits like The Acolyte. I mean, we all love that one. And Star Wars Tales of the Empire. Well, next, in 4th place, we have Max, or we better call it HBO Max again now, that has delivered, 77 titles, with standouts like Dune Prophecy and The Penguin. Then Hulu steps up in 3rd place with 153 originals, driven by successes such as Shogun and Under the Bridge. Well, then Prime Video goes closely ahead with 157 titles featuring Fallout and Mr. and Mrs. Smith as flagship original titles. Well, then we have Netflix leading the league with a commanding 514 originals, over 3 times Prime Video's count. Also powered by hits like Hitman and Emilia Perez that were launched last year. Well, this shows that strategically, platforms shows like distinct game plans. Max and Hulu, for example, prioritize series, focusing on serialized storytelling to build audience loyalty. Prime Video balances its portfolio, splitting efforts both for series and films. And Disney Plus and Netflix, however, produces a bit more movies, aiming for high impact and notable releases. Well, and for platforms, the strategy here is clear. Ramping up original content is essential to challenge Netflix lead, but alignment with audience is the key. Series for retention and films for visibility. So content creators could take notes from Hulu and Max series-driven models or Netflix and Disney's movie-heavy approach, depending on its market's goals. This data also highlights the need for tailored production strategies in a really crowded arena.
Well, I know we have seen a lot here, but let's keep diving deeper into the regular season that we are watching right now. So in this case, Netflix is proving it's the MVP of original content in the US. So I will tell you some general information about the streaming platforms that, for example, the the teams have added an incredible 460,000 titles to streaming, which 264,000 titles are on subscription services and 9,400 are original stories. So, people, this is not just about numbers because Netflix outpaces everyone with more than 4,500 original movies and series, far, far, far ahead of platforms like Prime Video with 850 titles and Hulu with 665 titles. By 2025, a massive 48% of all original titles on subscription services come from Netflix. This is insane, for real, leaving rivals like Max and Disney Plus in the dust. So let's do something. Just imagine the excitement as their library, the Netflix library, climbs higher each year, while the other teams are struggling to keep up. So this dominance shows how Netflix keep the fans hooked with fresh, exciting content. Now they added live content as well, turning every season into a win. So in this streaming league, they are not just playing, they are rewriting the game, just like LJ or Steph Curry, for example.
Yeah, that was awesome, Fede. Colleagues, we are almost in the playoff crunch. But first, we will check some tradability stats. Well, this slide unveils 2024's top popular original titles. This is powered by our hit score, our B Media's hit score. That is an amazing metric we have for content popularity across more than 30 markets worldwide. Well, just to picture you out, this hit score has 5 key variables. The one is piracy score, tracking torrent downloads and visits to pirate sites. Social buzz, that is measuring mentions and engagement on X. Views and votes in collaborative databases like IMDb, TVDB, TMDB. YouTube performance as well, capturing trailer and good related content views. And OTT rankings reflecting top performing titles on these platform charts. So this methodology delivers like a definitive score, leaving evidence on what truly captivates audiences. So first, we have that Netflix dominates with Emilia Perez, hitting fourth among US movies by January, and Squid Games 2, the top series in December, fueled by the binge-watching trend we saw previously. Prime Video's Red One ranks fifth for movies, while Fallout claimed the top series spot. Then we have Hulu Hulu's Hold Your Breath, that breaks into the movie top 50. Shogun, in this case, secures fourth for the series. Max then scores with Juror number 2, sixth globally among movies, and The Penguin fourth in series rankings. Then Disney Plus delivers Descendants, The Rise of Red, nearing the top 50 movies. And The Acolyte, a series powerhouse that reached the first slot of the ranking. Well, and here's the deal. Through this data, we can see that series beat movies in hits scores, as people love original, long stories rather than momentaneous serotonin, let's say. So we can see also that weekly releases like Shogun, The Penguin, and The Acolyte keep viewers watching longer. So binge series like Squid Games 2, that I mean, personally, it's a series that in 2 or 3 days I have already seen. Start big in this case, but drop faster in terms of popularity. So platforms could make more series and use weekly releases to keep fans engaged and grow. This strategy builds loyalty as weekly episodes create excitement for new drops, keeping viewers like coming back again to the platform. For example, Shogun held top spots for weeks, while Squid Game 2, for example, faded away after its big start. So series also match what people want, engaging like these stories that feels like a journey.
Wow, yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, some really cool insights here.
Yeah, but we are not just in the, I would say, the awesome part of this presentation. So please go ahead.
Yeah, so well, the regular season now is over, and now it's playoffs time. Like the real playoffs that are taking place now in the US, in the NBA. Well, streaming platforms here are aiming to claim the crown for the most popular original content. But which platform really will emerge victorious and with the highest share of hit original titles? Well, to find out, we have selected the top 8 streaming platforms in the US, ranked by net user base, like from largest to smallest. We then analyze the number of original content releases for each one of them, and which will be the winner in this case. The platform with the highest percentage of original titles classified as hits according to our BB Media's tracking service. So the stage is set, and the top streaming platforms in the US. So which platform, in this case, will take home the ring as the ultimate winner in the original content playoffs?
Yeah, I just want to say there will be surprises here.
Yes.
So, the regular season has brought us to the streaming playoff, as I said, and the competition is heating up here. So, in a conference, let's talk about the first match. Netflix has secured its spot in the semifinals. Yes, that's correct, proving its strength as a top contender. It faced Max in this case, a strong competitor that brought almost 100 original titles to the table, which 61% of them appear in our trending title service that Juani explained it just few minutes before. So that means that more than half of Max titles were popular. So this is crazy. So as you can see, this was a close matchup, but this time, yeah, Netflix moved on to the next round. So if we analyze the second match of this conference, we will see that Hulu, yes, advances to the next round with 215 original titles after beating Paramount Plus, which released only 5 original titles, just 2 of which were popular among US consumers. So now that we have this information, the 8 conference finals are confirmed. Netflix versus Hulu. So stay tuned to see who makes it to the big final.
Okay, so we now deep dive into the Conference B, where some of the biggest players in the US streaming are competing head to head, let's say. So, let's break down the matchups. Well, the first one in Conference B is Disney Plus and Peacock as our powerhouses with a tight race in original content productions for 2025, separated by just 19 original titles. I mean, there are so few. But in this case, Peacock takes the lead with the highest percentage of popular original titles in the US, as tracked by hits. Disney Plus instead follows closely with an impressive 50% of its 2024 original titles earning hits status. So no doubt that this is a truly remarkable achievement for them. Well, in the other branch of the Conference B semifinals, we have two global entertainment giants as well, Prime Video and Apple TV. Amazon Prime Video has a vast library of subscription-based content catering to diverse audiences. In contrast, Apple TV focuses on a curated selection of high-quality originals under its subscription model. When it comes to popularity, Apple TV dominates the panorama, but Prime Video stands behind with an outstanding 61.4% of its original titles achieving hits status. I mean, this means that more than 6 out of every 10 Prime Video originals have resonated strongly with audiences over the past months. So this showcases its exceptional production quality. Well, Prime Video, while formidable, falls just shortly in this matchup.
Well, thank you for that, Juani. Now we'll have these four winners. So we have reached now the semifinals, which is Conference A, Netflix versus Hulu, Conference B, Peacock against Apple TV Plus. So let's first analyze the A conference, Netflix versus Hulu. Who will make it to the final in this case? So to start, Netflix released 3 times more titles, more titles than Hulu between 2024 and 2025. So we are remarking the amount of titles that Netflix released just in these past 2 years. So as you can see here, Netflix launched nearly the same number of movies and series, while Hulu clearly focused more on series than movies. So when we look at the genres, Netflix's most popular titles were mainly thrillers, followed by drama and then action. In the case of Hulu, sci-fi led the way, followed by drama and romance. But now, let's get to the key question. Who moves to the finals? So we looked at the percentage of popular titles relative to the total numbers launched, and once again, Netflix wins this battle and advances to the big final. That said, Hulu delivered a strong performance, as you can see, with 61% of its titles ranking among the most popular ones. So this is such an impressive ratio. And now we will see with Juan the results of the V conference.
Yes, well, that after seeing Netflix amazing success with its original shows, now let's look at two big US streaming platforms going head to head in these exciting semifinals. Well, Apple TV Plus has over 24 million users in the US, while Peacock, in this case, has more than 32 million subscribers. Both have knocked out other streaming giants to get here. So who's going to win and move on to the grand final? Well, both platforms focus heavily on original series, tapping into the huge binge watching trend in the US. But when we look at the most popular shows, Peacock top genres are thriller, comedy, and action. Long Bright River, a thriller released this year, is one of their biggest hits. Apple TV also excels in thriller with Presumed Innocent, for example, launched in 2024, being a fan favorite and one of the most popular shows. So which one will take the crown and head to the final? Let's reveal it now. Well, and Apple TV is headed to the finals. I mean, it beats Peacock in the popularity of its original titles, with Peacock having 51 of its original titles shown as hits. I mean, that's a really solid number. as it has outplayed Disney Plus in the previous round for only 1%. So what a journey it's been for the top subscription platforms in the US. We look at the number of original titles released in 2024 and so far in 2025. We have also seen how well these platforms perform, with each showing strong popularity in the US market. We have also explored the numbers of movies and series, as well as the most popular genres among their original content. Well, but all these analyses had just one goal: to find out who takes the crown for the best performance in original content. Now it's down to Netflix and Apple TV Plus in an epic final showdown. Both have worked hard to bring amazing original titles to their catalogs, but who will be the champion? So we're gonna reveal it now.
Thank you, Juani, and welcome people to the grand final of streaming playoff, where only the strongest platforms remain here. So, as we saw in this presentation, after intense matchups, it's down just to Netflix on Apple TV Plus, battling it for the streaming crown in the US market. So let's dive into the big final. First, which titles have been the most in demand so far in 2025? So, on Netflix side, The Electric State has been the most demanded movie among US consumers, while Adolescence takes the lead as the top series this year. And speaking about this title, this is a show that I strongly recommend who hasn't seen this great production yet. Meanwhile, on the other hand, The Gorge stands out as Apple TV Plus' most popular movie, and Prime Target leads the pack among its series. So, continuing with this final, on the left we have Netflix, which shows an average original hits score. Remember that hits score, it was a combination of different variables that comes from one of our services. And in this case, Netflix scored 5.16 for movies and 4.43 for series. So, to be real, this is not bad considering the high volume. Notably, 62% of its catalog is made up of original content, highlighting a strong commitment to in-house production. And on the right, we see a different strategy from Apple TV Plus. While it offers these platforms fewer titles, overall, its approach is focused and effective, let's say, because Apple TV Plus boasts an impressive 15 points average hits score for movies and 6.26 for series. And we can see that this far surpasses Netflix on both fronts. And even just look at the chart below. 95% of Apple TV Plus content is original, clear sign of its premium and curated strategy.
Okay, so people, we are gonna reveal who the winner is in terms of original content. We can see that Apple TV takes the crown. I mean, the platform with the iconic Apple logo is the champion of original content performance over the past few years. And here is a jaw-dropping stat: nearly 8 out of 10 of their titles are on hits, proving that Apple TV Plus has a knack for delivering captivating stories in its catalog. But hold on, Netflix came incredibly close in this case, missing the top spot by only just 1.6%. We all know the Red platform tells amazing stories too, with a huge lineup of original content. However, despite their vast catalog, they couldn't quite match this Apple TV's hits rate.
Well, yeah, I told you before.
There are gonna surprises here.
Yeah, there are surprises here. So now that we know who takes the ground in the US, let's see some reasons why Apple TV won this battle. So here are the key factors. First, focus on original productions. So Apple TV Plus, as I said before, Their catalog is 95% of original content, showcasing its commitment to unique storytelling. As the eighth, I think, yes, largest platform by net users in the US, as we saw previously. So it's clear their strategy. It's all about captivating audiences with fresh and original stories. Following on to the next key factor, we will see that the curated catalog was one of the key. With just over 280 titles, Apple TV Plus catalog is smaller than Netflix, but focuses on high quality, hand-picked originals. So by prioritizing the 95% of original content, they carefully select titles that have strong potential to become popular hits. And following to the last key, Apple TV Plus shines in genres like crime with titles like Dog Thief and comedies like The Studio. Beyond the top three genres that we have seen as the top on the platform, thriller, sci-fi, and drama, Apple TV Plus also excels in other genres, reflecting a strong offering in the US market. Great. So now we can't overlook our MVP and Rookie of the Year. So, of course, based on this year's highest audience titles, Zach Cherry takes the spotlight here because he had standout roles in Severance, for example, and the series You. That those titles were two of 2025's most in-demand series. But also, I really want to give a special shout out to Owen Cooper. Yes, this kid, it's incredible. This kid made an unforgettable debut as the lead in Adolescence, the Netflix original series that we saw before. And remarkably, and I want to say this so badly, this was his first time acting. Like, this is insane. For the people that already seen that series, yes, it was the first time acting for this kid, and he absolutely nailed it. So this is not bad for a kid just getting started, you know?
Right. Yeah, so we have some takeaways from this whole season through the preseason, regular season, and the playoffs. Well, the first takeaway we have is that nearly 4 out of 10 US citizens are more likely to watch TV series, tending to binge watch 4 or more episodes on weekends. Well, this shows like a huge trend of binge watching in the US, matching the 19 hours per week people spend on subscription platforms. Americans clearly enjoy content that keeps them glued to the couches for hours. Well, then in 2025, we can say that Netflix dominates original title production, delivering approximately 6 times more in terms of amount of content to than its main competitor, that is Amazon Prime Video. Well, this is evident from Netflix's massive number of annual original releases. I mean, in terms of production and popularity as well, coming just behind Apple TV Plus, Netflix has been dominating the market since 2012, sorry, consistently outpacing other platforms. And there is a fact that Netflix has been creating original content for 12 years, starting with House of Cards in 2013. I mean, we all remember that one. So, well, the first original series from a streaming platform historically.
Yeah, and continuing with the last two key takeaways, we have the third one, that streaming platforms benefit significantly from original series, which outperform movies in popularity and show that weekly episode releases maintain better viewer engagement over time compared to full season drops, suggesting us a strategic focus on this approach to sustain audition interest. And the last one, if we talk about original content, particularly exclusive series, this kind of content drives higher retention rates than licensed titles, with engaged viewers more likely to remain subscribed long term, highlighting the value of investing in exclusive original to boost loyalty and reduce the churn. So now that I think we have seen a lot of data of consumption in the US and also which platform is the king here, we will see where you will be able to see the real NBA finals coming now in June, in just 2 weeks.
I mean, they are happening now, so we'll take a look. Well, in terms of the Western Conference, we have the non-linear channels are both the same for both conferences. We have DirecTV Streaming, Fubo TV, Hulu Live TV, and YouTube TV as main broadcasters. And then on linear channels, we have in the Western Conference, that is the OKC against the Timberwolves. We have ABC, ESPN, and well, NBA TV as linear broadcasters. And then for the Easter, we have exclusivity on TNT, but also from NBA TV. And then for the big finals, that will take place in June. Well, we have the same platforms as for the conference finals, but on linear channels. On the linear, we have ABC as the exclusive broadcaster of it, but NBA TV also will broadcast the finals.
Yeah.
So, well,
Celtics should be there, I know, but well, Jason Tatum got really bad injury, so well, I'm kind of sad for him and for the Celtics as well. But now we will see who takes the ring. So
yeah,
now
it's so close.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all people for joining us. I mean, it's been a really, really great time here. Well, hope you get these insights just to take into account in your strategies, in your content strategies, in your strategies as well. So, well, thank you all for coming. I don't know, Freddy, if you want to say something.
Yeah, no, just the same as the beginning. Thank you all for being here today. For us, it was a pleasure to create this presentation and to talk about the US streaming landscape and some stats. So, well, thank you for being here today, people, and I'm really grateful to the OTT.x for the invitation.
Yeah,
Thank you all.
Thanks, guys. I have a couple of questions. Can I ask a couple of questions? Also, if anybody else has questions, feel free to put them in the Q&A section.
Sure, feel free.
Okay, awesome. So I noticed when we were talking about original titles, and we had sort of the, the different categories and who was winning, and in terms of viewership, do you find that it oftentimes doesn't necessarily translate? Like if I have a ton of new titles, do they all get high viewership usually, or do you see some get really good viewership and some are just like nobody watches that thing at all?
Yes, I mean, well, it depends on our hits metric. I mean, this is a weekly service that we keep track of the trends of the market. So, well, for example, as all the original titles from all the platforms, maybe once entered on our hits score, but other ones not because they don't have reached like a score or something. So, well, that percentages that we gave before, I mean, are the real titles that are appearing on our popularity metric. So
yeah, and to add to that, and Juani explained it in the presentation, I think our metric is really a good accurate metric because it takes into account different sources.
Yeah.
So for example, hashtags from X, formerly Twitter, YouTube trailers and the top related content to that specific titles. Of course, votes, downloads on the piracy landscape. We also take into account votes of the collaborative databases such as IMDb, TMDb, TVDB. So yes, we take into account different verticals. So once we got all that verticals, we merge them, and then we create this metric score that I personally think it's really accurate.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Do you see similar trends internationally? I know this was really focused on US, but how do
Yeah.
these perform internationally as well?
Yeah, I mean, for example, I can talk about Adolescence, the Netflix series launched just a month ago. That series, it was the top one in so many different countries, not just the US. So yes, we can see like a good relation in terms of what's happening in the US and what's happening around the world. For example, the UK or the top markets in Europe, and as well here in Argentina, where we are based right now. So
Yeah. Well, for example, The Ed or Not, I don't know if you are familiar with that series. It's a new series, it's a new release from Netflix here in Argentina. That is an original story from, it's a local story. It's a science fiction story. It break all the charts these weeks. So we do keep track of that also. As well, the series performed really well. I think it reached the top one content here in Argentina regarding series. So yeah, we keep track of Argentina, the US, the UK. More than 30 markets worldwide.
yeah, and just one comment to add. For example, another example. There is a Max series. It's called The Pit. It's about a hospital series that I really liked it, and I think that in the US, yes, was killing that series. It was doing pretty good, but also here in Argentina as well. So you can see that there is a relation between, for example, what's happening in the US and what's happening in another country.
Awesome. So we have a question from an attendee. Have you noticed a similar growth between fast channels and streaming platforms, or is it too difficult to compare viewing patterns between the two?
Well, to answer that question, we keeping track of yes, the fast side, the live streaming side. So I know we didn't put we didn't talk about the this landscape, let's say, in the presentation, but yes, we keep track of that growth of fast channels that we can see that month by month and year by year there has been like a growth on that side.
Yeah. The last couple of years, I think that fast channels have been increasingly, have been increasing.
Yeah.
The offering of those fast channels. So it's like the also like the increase of the streaming platforms. For example, the sports fast channels and the sports platforms as well. That is really trendy now. So yeah, they do both share that growing, but depends also on the market and on the specific user, because some prefer fast channels, some others prefers only subscription services with no ads, with just the content. So it really depends on the audience, but they do kind of share that growth together. Yes.
Yeah, but yeah, I can confirm that there has been a growth in the fast side, and not just in the US, but also, for example, in Latin market.
Yeah.
So I know you guys cover the whole world, but and I know the number changes pretty much daily, but how many services are you all tracking right now? How many streaming services?
Oh wow, no, that is a question that I can't answer with the accurate number, because we have at least 14 services. Yes.
Yeah.
But I think we have more than that, like 16, 17, but I don't have the real number. but more than 15, yes, I can confirm that we have more than 15 services.
Yeah, and for example, well, we used some of them in the presentation. For example, we have content pools that tracks the offer of contents on streaming services. We have hits that tracks the demand of those contents. We also keep track in online media essentials. That is another service that track the demand of platforms. We have another one that tracks the offering of platforms. So, I mean, there is a really huge landscape.
Just to add, some of our different services track, apart from what Juan said, we keep track of the content tracker that are titles that are coming, that they are not released yet. We keep track of prices, plans, and bundles in real times. For example, if I don't know, streaming services, alliances with a telecommunication company. So yeah, we keep track of that in real time. Or for example, let's say that Prime Video in, I don't know, in Egypt, maybe they launched a discounted price or a free trial, and we keep track of that in real time. Yes, we have a lot of services.
Yeah, quite a lot to talk about. Yeah.
Yes, and for this presentation, we used just 3 or 4 services.
Sure. All right. So I think that's going to do it for today. Really quickly, I just want to say thank you, Federico and Juan, for those sharp insights into what's trending across the US streaming landscape. And thank you to everyone who joined us today. At OTT, we're really focused on helping our community navigate change and opportunity through shared knowledge. Today's session is a great reminder. Oh, we have one more question.
All right.
Awesome.
Thank you for answering the previous question. You mentioned sports is a growing trend in LATAM market. Would this be seen similarly in the US market as well?
Yes, I mean, well, actually in the US market, I do think, I mean, I'll have to check the data, but I do think that is one of the countries with the most tendency like of growth in that terms in channels. I mean, now we have like platforms tailored only for the sport audience. So, I mean, with this tendency like growing, not only for sports, but for example, for niche platforms as well. I mean, people maybe just want to see one specific content in one specific channel on a fast channel, for example. So yeah, I mean, we do keep track of that US growing as well.
Awesome.
I think I responded to that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, thank you, Diana, for your question.
Excellent. Okay, so really quickly, at OTT.x, we're really focused on helping our community navigate the change and opportunity through shared knowledge. Today's session was a great reminder of how dynamic audience behavior is and how data-driven insights can drive smarter decisions in content distribution and strategy. If you're not already a part of the OTT.x community, we'd love to have you involved. So visit us at OTT.x.org to learn more about our member benefits. Thank you again, guys. This was really great.
Oh, thank you.
It was a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, and thank you all for joining us. I mean, it was a pleasure sharing these insights. I will hope to see you again sometime.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well,
thank you. Appreciate your time.
Have a good day.
Thanks.